Good evening. Welcome to Live After 5. I would like to talk to you this evening about probate. Probate is the legal term for wrapping up the affairs of a deceased person and dispersing the assets set out per the instructions in the will. Now, in order to legally take control of the assets and disperse them, permission from the High Court is required, and this permission is in the form of a grant. So if there is property within the will and the estate, then you will need to get the property valued at the time of death. So that means if the person who leaves the estate passes away on the 1st of April 2022, then the will would need, the probate valuation would need to be done, and the valuation at the time of death. Now, obviously I've given you a date in the future which isn't a good example, so let's say that the time of death was January the 5th 2022. So your auctioneer would be providing you with the valuation at what the property was worth at the time of death. So they would need to give comparable evidence and a reason as to their opinion around the valuation. Now, what's very important is that the valuer doesn't undervalue the property. So, for example, if the property is valued at 500,000 at the time of death, and there are three children who are basically recipients of the asset, and it's been divided three ways, then there is no tax on that sum divided between three people, but there is tax on the appreciation, the capital appreciation. So if the property is valued at 500,000 at the time of death in January, and the property is sold at 600,000, then the children are liable to tax of the difference between 500,000 and 600,000. So that's 100,000, and capital gains tax is liable at 33%. So that would mean between the three, it's 33,000 tax divided by 3, it's 11,000 per person. So it's important that your auctioneer is erring on the side of caution and they're not undervaluing the property, because the true value of a property is the price that the property actually sells for on the day. And in actual fact, it's probably a really good idea to sell the property, put the property on the market as close to the same time as the valuation. And you might say, well, can you sell a property if the probate grant isn't complete? And the answer is, you can actually put it on the market and you can have your probate valuation, but you can't actually close the sale. But it can be in tandem with the grant, and the grant can take the same length of time that it takes to sell a property, a few months. In actual fact, if your property is on the market, it can actually help speed up the probate. So I hope you found that interesting. I will put a link to the revenue underneath this, where you can do some more research. In terms of tax on inheritance, that depends on the relationship between the recipient and the deceased person. I hope you found that of help, and thank you very much for watching.